Hello, 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 everyone. How's it going? So my name is Angela Brown, or Coach Angela, whatever you want to call me, but I am your health coach that's going to guide you through your 21-day sugar detox journey, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. Congratulations on taking this first step. We are going to spend a little bit of time right now just kind of going over some of the detox basics. First off, I hope everyone has purchased their 21-day sugar detox book. You have a couple different ones. Let me show you. So this is the original book. We do follow the guidelines, and everything is, really everything you need is in the guides, but we're going to give you some accountability. I'm going to answer any questions you may have, make sure that you are feeling confident and ready to head into this with full knowledge of what's going on, so you're comfortable and ready to go. So this is the original Sugar Detox book. You may have this book. The newest version is called the 21-Day Sugar Detox Daily Guide. This is what I refer to more than not, but pretty much everything that's in here is also in the original book, is similar. And then there is also the optional 21-Day Sugar Detox Cookbook. So this is just recipes, and it is completely optional, but there are good recipes in here, I am going to say. So if you like a good cookbook, I tend to be someone that collects cookbooks, maybe more than I should, because I just like to read them, and I pick out the recipes that I love the most. So if you're like me and you love a good recipe, then the cookbook is definitely for you. I do recommend when you buy your 21-Day Sugar Detox book, your daily guide, that you buy the actual physical copy of it versus the digital. I know you can get everything now digitally, and we can get it on Kindle. We can look at it on our iPad, but there really is nothing like being able to reference and move back and forth between the pages of the book while we are on the detox. So if you haven't bought it yet and you are looking at the digital guide, I would just recommend you get the actual, actual in your hand book, right? All right, so let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. I have a presentation that I'm going to do once a week during our time together. So today's presentation is on the pre-detox. So really this is going to just answer a lot of those questions you may have, go over some of the guidelines, and just really make sure you're prepared and ready to go. We're going to talk a little bit about meal prep, meal planning, cleaning out our pantry, and how to choose your level. So we're going to go over all of those things. If you have questions, I am here to help. So please do not hesitate to reach out, okay? So I'm going to share my screen and go over this first presentation. We will do one a week, pre-detox. Week 1, our kickoff. Week 2, kind of getting in the swing of things. Week 3, which is your last week, and then a post-detox session as well. So you will see 5 different presentations during our time together. So sharing screen right now, so hold on one second for me. Let's see, here we go. All right, so welcome everyone. Welcome to your 21-Day Sugar Detox session number 1. This is pre-detox. So if you're watching this right now, we start next Monday. I like to give a full week for you to prepare. Just gives you time to kind of absorb the information and really just mentally get ready for what's coming up, right, for the next few weeks. So welcome to your session 1 pre-detox. And I am Coach Angela Brown. I'm a certified holistic health coach and a certified 21-day sugar detox coach. I began offering the sugar detox when I realized very quickly when I started my health coaching practice that people needed to learn how to eat real food again. That is what I love about our sugar detox. It's about more than just the sugar detox. It really is just about learning how to eat real food again, how to read a label, how to look for the hidden sugars that come in really all of our foods, and how to really get back to basics, get our palate and everything back to where it needs to be. And I just find the sugar detox is one of the best programs out there to do this. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so session 1, this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about your sugar detox prep list, the impact of sugar on your body, and why you really need to even do a detox. Selecting your level or any modifications you might have. There are 3 different levels for this program that we're going to talk about. The yes, no, and limit foods list. the daily success log, how you're going to use it, and then any kind of questions that you may have, feel free to type them in as you're watching this video or send me a message and I will make sure to answer it. All right, so we all know that sugar impacts the body in a lot of ways. So in the long term, it has been shown to, really cause some major health issues, including anemia, depression. We know there are skin problems, PCOS, infertility, insomnia. You've got, of course, type 2 diabetes, which is so prevalent in our society right now, Alzheimer's. It's really got a lot of implications when you eat too much sugar over the long term. It has just been linked to so many things. In the short term, even, we have additional issues like mood swings. Your PMS symptoms are way accelerated. You have your sleep is affected, fatigue, muscle weakness. Really, your immune system is down, which makes you more susceptible to colds and flu. And really, food addictions, sugar addictions, carb addictions, all of those things are real. So the truth about sugar is this: it has zero nutritional value. It has zero vitamins. It has zero minerals. It has zero enzymes. It has zero fiber. Nothing good, right? So there's nothing good. So it really has to be eaten very sparingly. Blood sugar spikes and crashes. It depletes nutrients. It crowds out nutrient-dense foods, and it affects your brain chemistry, and it keeps you craving more. So hidden sugar it's real, guys. You are eating processed foods that have really been made in a lab for you. That is what's on our grocery store shelves. So anything from peanut butter to a loaf of nature's own bread, of course, cereals, pasta sauces, salad dressings, any kind of condiments, and even your deli meat has added sugar. So they've really added it into everything because they know that it makes you want more, which in turn makes you buy more, right? So this is totally a scheme to keep America eating more and more sugar, but we also have, obviously, the most unhealthy statistics that we've had ever, with obesity rates rising, type 2 diabetes. All of this is a big problem for our country. So let's talk about selecting a level. So there are 3 different levels for the sugar detox. Another reason why I really, really love this program. So the 3 different levels really are based on your current diet and what you currently eat. I usually tell people if they're used to already eating kind of a restricted diet, like maybe you already eat kind of this paleo-ish diet. People love a paleo diet. It's essentially protein and vegetables is what I would consider a clean paleo diet. If that is already how you eat, then you're going to want to probably go with the most strict plan, which right there on the bottom here is level 3. It has no grains. It has no dairy. Level 2 is kind of the middle of the road. So if you're used to maybe trying to be more restrictive in your eating and you are used to watching your foods a little bit, but you just haven't really had a plan recently, you may just want to go with level 2, the middle of the road. It includes full fat dairy, no grains whatsoever. And the most lenient plan, which is where I put usually my first timers, is in that level 1. So it includes some selected gluten-free whole grains, and it does include full fat dairy. There's a limit on the whole grains. You're not eating them freely. You're getting like a half cup serving a day. However, for someone who is really unsure about how they're going to react, or they're kind of nervous about the different levels, or like being too restricted, or you find that if you go into that restricted food place that maybe it doesn't really sit with you very well and you tend to go kind of off the rails, then I would absolutely choose level 1. I mean, I love this slide because it really says it. Don't be a hero. It's really not about trying to do level 3 because it's the hardest and it's the most restrictive. You will see a result no matter which level you choose. It really is based on what you're already used to. So if you're unsure about what level to do and you're still confused after you kind of hear me talk about it a little bit, please reach out. Let's figure it out. I want you to feel comfortable with the level. You're really, really nervous and unsure, I'm just going to push you to level 1. I'm going to say, choose level 1. There is no shame in level 1. When I, most of my clients, I would say we start at level 1. And you can also, to note, you can start at level 1. You can always be more restrictive. Like week 2, if you feel like level 1, you're not really, it doesn't feel that hard, maybe we want to push it up, and maybe you do week 2 as a level 2. you can always do that. We can always modify as we go. So, do not stress out about choosing your level, and do not worry about doing the most lenient level, especially with the exercise and workout routine that you guys are doing. You absolutely will still see results even on a level 1. Okay, so your official program rules. So Marshall has sent this out via email. It is also going to be uploaded, if it hasn't already, into the files section of our Facebook group. But the very basic official program rules are in your sugar detox guide. You can either, in the daily guide, here it is on this screen right here, it tells you it's on pages 20 and 21. There's also the official yes/no food list, which really is what makes this this program unique in so many ways, is that yes/no food list, because it really just lays out for you exactly what you can and cannot eat. So if you look up at that daily guide onto those pages 20 and 21, it's going to be right there. But like I said, look on that attachment. I was just going to pull it up real quick. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. So in the daily guide, this is what it looks like. And it is also on that attachment that Marshall sent out. So let's just go over it for just a second. We talk about our yes foods. This is really what I call a clean eating plan with structure. I mean, we are allowing you to eat real whole foods, low glycemic foods from nature. Low glycemic means that it's not going to spike your blood sugars, which is really, really what we're looking for. It's trying to keep our insulin levels down. So these are yes foods: meat, animal protein, and eggs. They are preferably but not required to be grass-fed, pastured, and organic. That is always the goal. We know that's not always 100% going to happen. It is absolutely okay. However, more than not, if you can choose a grass-fed, pastured, organic product, I would absolutely choose that. If it's conventional, opt for leaner cuts and include adequate healthy fats. So what she's saying is, if you can't get the grass-fed or pastured, so looking for just like a standard off the shelf, maybe you just don't have a lot of options, maybe it's just crazy expensive, choose a leaner cut and include healthy fats, which we'll go over in a second. Seafood, wild caught, sustainable is a big deal. Fats and oils, we want to include the healthy ones. So your healthy ones would include coconut, avocado, olives, and then also lard, tallow, and grass-fed butter and ghee are allowed. Just make sure, I do like to tell people it's still a fat. So we want to be smart and use this, I don't want to say sparingly, but we don't want this to be the majority of our food, right? It's very easy for the fat calories to add up very quickly. So we just want to be smart, but including healthy fats with your meal will help your body just digest all of those vitamins and nutrition that's even coming from your vegetables. So it is good for you. Some more yes foods. Vegetables, non-starchy vegetables. So if you do not know what this is, you will hear us talk about it a lot. On the yes/no food list, it really does outline it very clearly for you. But non-starchy vegetables, of course, are any of our leafy greens. It includes things like zucchini. It includes the cruciferous things like cauliflower and broccoli, asparagus, green beans. These are all considered non-starchy vegetables. And those you really are allowed unlimited. We want you to eat them. Starchy vegetables are considered a limit item. So it talks on here about the energy modification. I really tell people, you know what, just we want to be smart and really have, one a day of a starchy vegetable is fine. So that would include things like sweet potatoes, carrots, butternut squash. Those are considered starchy vegetables. Still good for you, still super healthy, but we do want to just be mindful of the portions of our starchy vegetables. Nuts and seeds are allowed. Fruit. Let's talk for a second about fruit. Everyone always asks me, well, isn't fruit healthy? Isn't fruit sugar healthy sugar? Yes, absolutely. All of that is true. But during the sugar detox, we do choose to cut out most fruits while we're doing the 21 days. This is not a forever place to be. This is not where you are expected to live. But what the whole goal is of our sugar detox is to really reset our palate, reset our taste buds, and get back to a place where we don't need so much to be satisfied with the sweet food. It helps us keep it in moderation if we can bring it back to baseline. That's what we're doing, is creating a new baseline. So while you are doing the program, you are allowed one piece of fruit a day, but it is limited. You're allowed to either have one green tipped banana, one green apple, or one grapefruit every single day. Not only are you allowed those things, I actually want you to have them. So even if you are resisting a little bit, I want you to have them. They help with our sugar cravings. They help us feel more satisfied, and you're going to find that over time, that is good. So let's stick with the green tipped banana, which just means it's a little underripe. You know how when you go to the grocery store and you have the choices of the bunches of bananas and some of them are still green? We're going to eat them green. You know why? Because they're not super duper sweet, and yet they are full of, resistant starch and fiber, which is really, really good for digestion. And again, just going to help fill you up and make you feel satisfied. And after a week or so, that green tipped banana will taste a little bit sweet, as with the green apple, I promise. So you are allowed to use, as far as drinks, first off, water. Water is our number one all the time drink, right? But you are also allowed to have unsweetened almond milk, some coconut milk or cream. She wants you to use full fat. It's more satisfying, and that way you're getting the good fats, again, that we talked about, so that your body can absorb all the nutrition. Coffee, my screenshot's a little weird with the coffee there, but coffee, espresso, mineral water, seltzer, club soda, any kind of herbal tea, or really any kind of tea. We just want to make sure it's unsweetened, and then of course water. So if you are used to adding honey to your tea, that's a no. If you're used to adding stevia to your coffee, that is also a no. So I want you to learn how to eat these or drink these things without the sweetener. I do love some, I do love like the sparkling water craze, that's happening right now. So if you like a LaCroix or a bubbly water, one of those seltzers that has 0 sugars, just has maybe some natural flavors. I mean, there's some question about the natural flavors, but to be honest, even if having that bubbly water kind of does it for you because you're used to having a Diet Coke and you're trying to come off of it, then I want you to enjoy that bubbly water. So that's like a really great way to kick the soda habit. It's not soda, but it does help fill that space so that you don't feel like all you can have is water. So another little idea for you. Let's talk about the no foods. Really, the no foods are processed and low nutrition foods. Things, sugars, sweeteners, artificial sweeteners, certain carbohydrates, refined and unrefined sweeteners of all types. Like I said, no honey, even though that is a natural sugar, no maple syrup, no stevia, nothing that tastes sweet. A good rule of thumb is if it tastes sweet, it's a no. It's a no food. Yes, you're going to feel this the first week as your body is going to fight you a little bit with that sweet tasting food. It just wants a little something. But I'm telling you, stick with it and you will break that cycle of craving the sweet stuff and begin to see that you really don't need it to feel good and to feel full and to feel satisfied. We do cut out all fruit aside from those on the yes list, which is that one piece of fruit you can have every day. Other no foods, canola, soybean, corn, and cottonseed oils. We cut out peanuts and cashews, no alcohol, no processed drinks, and no juice or sweet tasting drinks. Okay, I think all of that is pretty self-explanatory. The limit foods, which these are the foods that have the portion limits that I mentioned earlier. So the starchy vegetables like acorn squash, beets, butternut squash, green peas, pumpkin, winter squash, sweet and white potato, 1 cup serving per day is allowed. And then on the fruit, 1 piece per day, which we already went over this. The green tipped banana, grapefruit, or green, kind of that Granny Smith type apple. All right, grains and legumes. This is for level 1. Remember how I talked about your 3 levels? Level 1 is the most lenient. Level 1 allows a 1/2 cup serving per day cooked of these items. So you've got the grains, so quinoa, brown rice, those are my top ones. You can have these others as well. Also, you could instead have beans if you'd rather have some black beans or some lentils or some chickpeas in your salad. You can absolutely include those in level 1. Not only can you include them, you need to include them. They're very good for you. So level 1, I'm going to encourage you, especially with your exercise routine, to include the starchy grains and legumes. Really good for you, a great energy source for your body, and you're going to feel way more satisfied if you can include some in your everyday diet. All right, so let's talk for a second about building your sugar detox plate. I love this graphic, and I love how it describes the best way to build your plate. I think it's a very simple way to look at it. So if you look at this plate, this is level 1. This is the most lenient. This is the level that includes, you know, gluten-free grains. It includes full-fat dairy. It includes legumes, whatever you wanted to do for your half a cup a day. So if you look at this plate, you'll see on it, you have half of your plate is full of non-starchy vegetables. That is your goal all the time, is half of your meal is non-starchy vegetable. 1 to 2 cups of them. Then you also have 4 ounces of protein on this plate. You have 1 to 2 tablespoons of healthy fats. Okay, so if you look at this, you're seeing the cheese on the salad right there. You also can include the half to 1 ounce of dairy, your starchy vegetables. I'm not super concerned about measuring your dairy and your starchy vegetables right now. I just want you to be aware of it. But the first week in particular, I'm more concerned about compliance than I am about you really following the measurements. You know, we do not count calories while we're doing sugar detox. That's something we will maybe learn after the sugar detox, where we start to log in MyFitnessPal and things like that. But right now, you're really just about compliance and sticking with the yes, no food list. So anyway, this graphic shows you the sweet potato, or you could swap out rice or quinoa, because of course this is level 1, right? Activity carbs, again, this is where I'm not so worried about your measuring it. So activity carbs are because you are very active. If you're working out 3, 4, 5 times a week, I do not want you to worry about overdoing your sweet potato. Trust me, that is not going to be a problem on your sugar detox. If you are following everything else strictly, you'll be perfectly fine, including extra sweet potato, because you've been doing your workout. So just keep that in mind, okay? So level 2, if you look at this, it's exactly the same as level 1, because level 2 still includes full-fat dairy. You still have the optional activity carbs and the starchy vegetables and the dairy. The only thing you cannot do is swap out for the gluten-free grains, because that's not included on level 2. And then level 3 removes the dairy. Okay, so we have no grain and no dairy. We are looking really at protein and vegetables here. Plenty of the non-starchy vegetables are still there. They included additional fat on this plate with the avocado. So plenty of healthy fat, especially if we're cutting out dairy, because that was fat, right, on level 2. So I want you to include the healthy fats on level 3. So level 3 is the strictest level. Okay, this graphic will be uploaded in our Facebook group, and it's in your quick start guide that's sent out to you on email. Is uploaded in the file section of the group, and it is also in your daily guide. All right, so let's talk about prep week, right? Okay, so preparation is the key to success. Have you ever heard that little quote that says, you fail to plan, you plan to fail? There really is a lot of truth to that. This program is not hard. It is quite simple to follow, because all of the guidelines are laid out for you. However, you do have to plan for it, right? If you do not have healthy food ready to go, or have things in your fridge that you can eat, you're way more apt to order a pizza, or just completely give in to your body's cravings, which is going to happen this first week. So each day in the daily guide, which is what I'm referring to right now, there is a lesson, if you will, and even in the other sugar detox book as well. So in there's a what to expect, the dish from Diane, who's the author of our book, Diane Sanfilippo, today's checklist, today's lesson, and a journal prompt. So I want you just to make sure every day to open your book and to read through the guidelines for that day. Let me look real quick and let's see here. Yeah, so in this book, the older version, if this is the one you have, is laid out, what to expect is laid out kind of day by day on page 34. The Detox Daily Guide has a full page, kind of what you're seeing in this graphic right here. Okay, so it's laid out in a 2-page spread like this. Now, both of these books have a meal plan for you, all planned out with a shopping list for week 1. If you want to follow the meal plan exactly, you can absolutely do that. You also can plan your meals on your own based on maybe your preferences or how much cooking you like to do. You can do it either way. This layout, the way it shows you on daily 1, has a picture of today's recipe, which is a recipe that you would be making if you followed her meal plan. Little checklist. You see how it has the notes in the journal, but I really, really love how it lays out each day's lesson. And I will be posting in our Facebook group every day something usually that pertains to the lesson, just to kind of keep your mindset in the right place as we continue on our detox. All right, so let's talk about meal planning. Meal planning, because we talked about, fail to plan, plan to fail. No. Yes. Making sure I said that right. Because we talked about that a minute ago, I find that this is of critical nature. So pull out some paper, take some notes, or go back and rewatch this section later, because this is what it's all about right here. This is something you don't necessarily only do during the detox. This is something you're really going to have to do moving forward. Healthy people plan their meals. It's just a fact. If you're door dashing it every single night, you're going to struggle with this plan, or really with maintaining your weight going forward. There's only so many salads one can order. You really have to learn how to get back in the kitchen. Another reason why I love this program. We can do it simply. We can make it easy so it doesn't feel so complicated. That's why I'm here. However, you really do have to learn how to plan out your meals. So in the files section of our Facebook group, I'll be uploading just a very blank menu planning template that you can use, or you can just use a regular piece of paper or a calendar, whatever works for you. There are also some super cute things available at the office supply store for menu planning. All right, so menu planning. First off, if you are one of the people who got the book, started looking at that yes, no food list, and started freaking out about how restrictive it was, I want you to take a breath. And I want you to read through that yes, no food list and highlight the things you like on that yes list, because I promise there are plenty of them, okay? There are plenty. So even if a lot of your favorites are not there, or things that you are used to eating are not there, what we're gonna do is arrange our meal plan based on things you do like, all right? So the first thing I want you to do is highlight all the things you do like off of the yes list. Then I want you to find 2 to 3 recipes you want to try for the week. So if you are not following the meal plan exactly, I would say that most people do not follow it exactly, just because it's a lot of cooking, and maybe there's 2 or 3 things they don't think their family will eat. Another great thing about this program is that the recipes are good, guys. They're really, really good. Your husband's gonna love them. Your kids are gonna eat them. It's a great way to cook for your family, and everyone will enjoy it. That being said, it's a lot of cooking. So I want you to do this, especially if you're not used to cooking very often. I want you to find 2 to 3 recipes that you definitely want to make. I want to make sure you have plenty of protein so you can use it as leftover with different vegetables. So any recipe you have, usually I would tell you to add more of the protein. So, if you are making, I'm trying to even think right now, one of the recipes, that if you're making one of these recipes, let's see, the barbecue pulled pork Buddha bowl, for example, I'm going to tell you that instead of only cooking, let's see how much it tells you. It tells you only need 1 cup of slow cooker barbecue pulled pork. I want you to actually get 2 out. I want you to make at least 2. Like, we want to have extra of the protein. We want to add it to our vegetables for lunch the next day, or have enough for leftovers later. This is how you make your meals not feel so complicated, learning how to use leftovers and ingredients, share them throughout the week. So keep that in mind. You can find recipes all over the place. So yes, you have your daily guide. Yes, you have your cookbook. You can also go on Pinterest. The Sugar Detox has a blog. I will post tons of recipes in the group. If you will share something that's working for you, something you're excited about, or something you've made that you really, really like, Trust me, other people in the group would love to see it. If you're having problems, if you say, I only like 3 things and I can't find anything that'll work, reach out. Let me hopefully give you some ideas and put you in the right direction. Again, that's why I'm here. I'm your resource. I'm your guide. I'm your guru. I have ran 100 people through this program at least, and I would love, love, love to help you figure out how to make it work. Number 4, a huge tip. This is just a tip from me to you. Find a breakfast you really like. I usually tell people for the very first week to go ahead and make like a frittata or an egg bake or egg muffins of some kind. There are tons of recipes you can find. No dairy if you're skipping the dairy, or if you're including dairy because you're on level 1 or 2, it makes it almost even easier, right? But make a recipe that you like, because you wake up, you're hungry, you don't know what to eat, you haven't planned, you don't have your food ready. There's no time to be dealing with that in the morning when we're trying to get out the door for work or to run our kids to preschool. And when you're hungry, it's really, really hard to make a good choice. So let's start off our week strong on Sunday before the detox, or the weekend before, or maybe just Monday morning. I want you to plan to make something that you're confident you're gonna like for at least the first few days. So usually in my life, that means I make like a big frittata or a breakfast casserole of some sort. There, again, are a ton. You can put bacon in it. You can put sausage in it. There are tons of options. And that way, you know, you can scoop it out, heat it up, and eat it, and you have had something. And it's not so hard to stay strong throughout the day. But I want you to start your day really, really strong. So choosing a really solid, easy, healthy, already done and prepared breakfast is huge. You also need to plan your snacks. Figure out what you're going to have when you're hungry. There are tons of snack options in the book. And then I would encourage you to plan on having a salad a few times a week. Do you have to have a salad to, follow the detox? No, you absolutely do not. However, salads are on every diet plan in the world for a reason. They give you all of those non-starchy vegetables that we talked about in the Building Your Plate graphic. They're just a great way to really ramp up your nutrition, get a lot of food and a lot of bulk with less calories, which is of course still a little bit of a goal for most of us. And also keep in mind, the thing about the sugar detox that makes it unique and special is you can include a lot of those things that maybe you aren't used to being able to have on any other diet out there, right? You can have bacon and eggs and avocado, and if you're doing level 1 or 2, you can have full fat cheese, you can have seeds. I want you to create a salad bar of items in your fridge that you love, that make a salad delicious. Don't just open up that bag salad and say one and done, because that's not going to satisfy anybody. Come up with all the ingredients that you think are delicious on a nice big salad that maybe you would buy at a restaurant. Have them ready to go so that you can enjoy a salad through the week yourself. I'm sorry about that. All right, so this is a great graphic. Again, I will upload this in our group. This is a great way to combine into kind of a quick fix meal. So you have your protein plus your fat plus your veggie plus a flavor. I will upload this for you to look at, but really this is just a great way to think about your food and think about how to create quick, easy meals. Okay, and here's a few little menu hacks. We're almost done, guys, but here's a few things you might want to remind yourself of. Take the shortcuts. Take the shortcuts. Pre-chopped veggies are totally worth the money if you can afford it. I find that chopping all the veggies is what everyone is dreading. Making that salad bar, chopping up the cucumbers and the tomatoes and the carrots and all of these things are what people dread doing, or they're the things that people don't do, which make them maybe not like their food as much. So if you can buy pre-made or pre-sliced zoodles, for example, in your grocery store, they are in mine, then I totally recommend you do that. You can also buy things like shredded carrots or shredded, the things already pre-done, the onions, chopped onions, things like that. You can totally get those, and they're totally worth the money for my working mamas that are super busy and maybe just don't have time to cook or just don't love it, and you won't do it. Always keep frozen vegetables in your freezer at all times. You can buy those steam in the bag, bird's eye, frozen vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower. Buy them, stick them in the fridge, have them ready to go. That way, if you are so busy that you did not have time to make the meal that you intended to make, you can at least pull out a bag of frozen broccoli. You can pull out the chicken from last night's dinner, and you have food that you can eat that is absolutely compliant with your sugar detox. And kind of a rule of thumb that I use all the time is if the cutting board is out, chop more than one thing. I try very hard to pre-chop things. If I already have the cutting board out and I'm cutting up some onions for a meal, I go ahead and cut up the bell peppers that are in there as well, so they're ready to go, things like that. I put on here also the cook extra and freeze additional protein. I think we've talked about that, but you want to make sure you have additional protein ready to go, because if anything's going to hold you up, it's probably going to be that. Working off the yes/no food list instead of the menu plan is absolutely okay. I usually recommend this after week 1. Week 1, you really need a menu plan. You need to plan out 2 to 3 recipes to get you through the week. However, working off the yes/no list maybe on week 2 after you're feeling a little better, feeling more confident, understanding the guidelines and what's a yes and what is a no is absolutely okay. Feel free to buy approved easy things. So you don't have to make your own, mayonnaise. You really don't. There are approved items that you can do that. Primal Kitchen has some really great options. I wrote that on here actually. You really just want to read ingredients. Even there are some salad dressings. I was looking this week for a different sugar detox group that I'm running about salad dressings, and we have some good ones at our Publix. I don't know if you guys have Publix up there, but there are even some salad dressings available now that are really super clean. Use olive oil versus the canola, which is a huge no and really is in most of the salad dressings. So just read your labels, spend a little time doing that. That is why we're having pre-detox week. It gives you time to start preparing mentally and to actually do some of the research for what's going to work for you. And then spice it up. One of the best ways you can do is add flavor, spice, and seasonings to your food. It's going to make you love your food a lot more, and hopefully help you not miss some of the things that you may normally have had. A few other quick ideas. Eggs are always great for an easy breakfast for dinner. The egg casserole I talked about. Hard-boiled eggs are a really, really great snack. I love to make a soup. It's so easy to reheat it. There are soup options that are absolutely 21-day sugar detox compliant, so that might be an idea for you if you like soups. It's cold right now, so it's a good time for them. Find a basic chicken recipe that you like and that you can do. Learn to be okay with using it different ways, and always double it. Again, cook once, eat 2 or 3 times, so much better than cooking every single night of the week. We just have to learn how to change it up so it doesn't feel like you're eating the same thing every day. The grill is awesome. I know that it's cold out right now, but if you have access to your grill, if it's right outside on your deck and you can grill up your protein options, it is always delicious if you can grill it. Mashed cauliflower, you can absolutely have butter and ghee on this program, so enjoy that. It feels very satisfying. The riced cauliflower is frozen now. You can actually buy it already done, so it feels like you're having rice. So if you're on level 2 or 3 and you cannot include rice, or the half a cup just doesn't do it for you, riced cauliflower is a great option. I actually buy a big bag of it at Costco. So if you're a Costco shopper, you will find it there. A stir fry. I love a stir fry. And then also making like a tuna, chicken, or egg salad. You can totally use the mayo, the Primal Kitchen mayo, or you could make your own easy lunches. You can wrap it in a lettuce leaf. You can put it on a salad. That's one of those things you could have already done, ready to go. So it makes life a little bit easier, kind of like the soups, right? Here's a few of my favorite snacks. I will upload this in the group for you, but you will also find plenty of snack ideas in your book as well. Cheese, nuts, deviled eggs. I love some kombucha, and you are allowed to have 1 serving a day of kombucha, which is really, really just good for your gut, and it also satisfies a little bit of that soda urge for my soda drinkers. Make sure you have your piece of fruit each day, even if you're a little bit like, I don't love green apples, or I don't love the green tip banana, or just nothing really grabs you with that. I don't care. Do it anyway. Trust me, it's going to help level out that sugar craving for you later on. Almond butter packets, delicious with your green apple, by the way. Cottage cheese, full fat, or I think it's the 4% milk fat is the most you can get on it, but that's absolutely approved. The sparkling water I talked about earlier. I love the little guacamole packs. You can find really just individual single serving sizes. Such a great way to add that to salads or your bowl or your veggies or whatever. It just gives you that little extra healthy fat, all allowed. Any kind of rolled up deli meat, we just want to look at our deli meat to make sure we're getting one that is approved, which means very little sugar, no added sugar is what we're looking for really. It should have a 0 on the sugar on the nutrition label. Slice of cheese with some lettuce, kind of like a little mini sandwich. And then don't be afraid to have leftovers. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're starving, you ate your lunch, but you had that salad with chicken, you're still hungry, have more, have some leftovers. As long as it's on the yes list, you can have it. Okay, I think that's it. Looking for weight loss. Okay, I do have another extra slide in here. So if you're looking for some weight loss, as most people are, now you guys have a really strict exercise routine going here. So this is just some additional ideas for you. Start your day with a huge glass of water. I cannot preach water enough. You're going to hear me talk about it over and over and over. Add some lemon or some apple cider vinegar to help with your detox symptoms. And I encourage you to have that before water or before coffee. It really primes your digestion and just gets your day started really, really good. Veggies, veggies, veggies. You want to lose weight, increase your non-starchy veggies. They're going to fill you up and give you maximum nutrition with the least amount of calories. I tell everyone to try to have a side salad with every meal, or at the very least with dinner. And then I also mentioned trying to have just a regular, like a big old meal salad, if you will, at least a few times a week. Be careful not to make your meal be all meat. Fill up the majority of your plate with vegetables. Meat is allowed. It's okay. You can enjoy it. There's tons of options and it might make you very, very happy. That being said, it has a lot more calories than vegetables. So decrease your meat a little bit and increase your calories. You'll see that Diane recommends 4 ounces of meat. That is just really about the palm of your hand, maybe a teeny bit bigger is what we're looking at. Be cautious about the processed meats, bacon, sausage, sandwich meats. Although these are allowed, they typically are higher in calories, and we do have to watch sugar content on those. And then I tell people, I love a green lemonade. All that is greens like spinach and kale, blending them with water and lemon juice. It is sour, I'm not gonna lie, but it totally will help you with cravings. If you're feeling like you just can't be satisfied, it's a really great way to really kill that craving. And then I add on here this chia water. It literally is like a tablespoon of chia seeds, which are full of nutrition, into a glass of water. Drink that and it's gonna really just help fill you up. Just some little tips for you. All right, that's a wrap, guys. Our next meeting, we are going to be chatting about week 1. All right, so that's gonna be next week. It's gonna be open format, general Q&A, we're gonna come up with food ideas and recipes for your specific, situations. So if you have an event or you have something going on or you can't figure out what to take to work for lunch, let's chat about it. So next week we can talk about it as a group and come up with ideas. We're gonna discuss dining out, any other exercise modifications if you're struggling with that, and what to expect the first week. Bring questions and stay tuned to our Facebook group where we will talk about really everything that you probably are concerned about, any additional questions you may have, and I'm here to help. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful pre-detox week. Stay tuned to our group for more information, and my name's Angela if you need any help. Thank you. All right, let's figure out how to stop it. Bye, guys.